Welcome, this is your first lesson on the Khusus for librarian. A Khusus is sort of like a tutorial lesson for every librarian trainees that they have to go through and take an exam to pass in order to become an official librarian. In front of you, I have a digital copy of the book Khusus. So you may or may not have this digital copy, but it doesn't really matter because I have this just to help and guide you along easily and teach you what you need to know, everything you need to know about the library, everything basic that you have to know, that you should know, all inside this Buku Khusus. And this lovely digital copy is prepared by Lee Boon Lok, who is my mentor and my senior, who is also the chairman of the librarian, who is also the chairman of the Librarian Society in 2020. So he's a lovely guy, he's very knowledgeable, and thank God that he prepared this because no one else would have prepared this. So, enough of that, let's get right into it. So, whether you are in a physical class or you are in an online class and you're watching this, the first thing that your senior will teach you or will show you is the Senarai Kandungan, which is just the chapters of everything that you have to go through, that you have to learn, which, as you can see, there are 16 chapters that we have to go through. Maybe not number 16, that's just answering questions. We only reached like 15 or something like that. So don't worry about it. We'll go through it one by one, and if there is something that we have to cut out that is unnecessary, then I will let you know. Moving on, we are entering into Part 1, Chapter 1. So the first chapter is just about everyone that has a position in the librarian society. So of course you have the chairman, co-chairman, something like that, and then you have the secretary, the person who collects money. And back in my day, they used to teach me to find every one of them to get the signature and also their name, of course, so that I know who they are and I know their name, I know what to call them, and so on, like that. And of course, every year is gonna change, so you have to keep up with who's the latest chairman, who's the latest person who's in charge of the finance, and so on and so forth. Same with the teachers. You have to make sure you know who the teachers are in charge for the morning session and the afternoon session. And of course, the other teachers that are also on duty. For an example, for Monday, there will be a teacher who's responsible for that day. There's going to be another one for Tuesday, and so on. So moving on to Chapter 2, we have Pengenalan untuk PSS, which is just the most basic information for PSS. What is PSS? PSS stands for Pusat Sumber Sekolah. PSS is the short form name. So Pusat Sumber Sekolah also means the library, the perpustakaan in BM. So this is just a more special name for our school and how we call our library. We don't just call it perpustakaan, we call it Pusat Sumber Sekolah. And to make up PSS, to make up the perpustakaan, to make up the library, we have two sections. First, of course, we have the library, the perpustakaan, and the second is APD, alat pandang dan dengar. This, although it says alat, it is not a tool. In fact, it is a room that is next to the library. So PSS, this whole name and this whole foundation is made out of two separate rooms. These two separate rooms include the library and of course a room that is named Alat Pandang dan Dengar. And you will learn what this room is for down the chapters. So don't worry about it yet. So moving down, we have our objective. So what is the objective of PSS? Not librarian, library. What's the point of a library? Of course, a library is a source of information. Our goals is to prioritize PSS as the most important or the most crucial source of information in our school. So everyone can go find what they need, such as books and reference books that they need for their exams and so on. And secondly, we provide facilities to teachers and students alike. And thirdly, we encourage teachers and of course students to learn inside the library and APD room, as we would call, because sometimes maybe our class are occupied or our class is not really suitable, then teachers would guide you into the library or to the APD room and use that as an alternative or as your classroom. And lastly, we encourage everyone, mostly students, to work together in order to learn together. So that's the 4 main objectives for PSS for the library section. So that's the end for the second chapter. I'll see you in the next chapter.